Relief for 3 of the accused in the Thabo Bester prison escape case as charges against them have been withdrawn. Meanwhile, Thabo Bester's girlfriend Nandipha Magudumana did not appear in court due to ill health. Her lawyers claim she collapsed in holding cells due to not feeling well. Mnisi is following developments for us, and he's at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, and as soon as we re-establish our connection to him, we'll get you details in terms of what transpired throughout the course of the morning into this afternoon. Mnisi, hello to you. Let's start with the state dropping charges against 3 of the accused. Who are they and why?
Well, the state did not give reasons as to why exactly they withdrew the charges against the 3 of the 12 accused people in this particular matter. But of course, it is an interesting one that we'll keep on looking at. It's quite interesting that as we engaged them while they were leaving the courts here in the corridors, they said they were quite relieved that the state finally decided to withdraw the charges. But you also remember, these are people who are also, on bail. In this particular matter. Their names are Anastasia Janssen, I'm talking about Thabang Mir and Mogeti Ramudula. So they are saying that they're quite relieved that the court, or rather the state, decided to withdraw those charges against them. Let's take a listen to what they had to say in court.
Your Worship, I'm going to withdraw the matters against the following accused: Natasha Janssen, you please stand up. Mr. Mir and Ramadullah. I am withdrawing the case against these 3 accused. Thank you, Your Worship.
All right, interesting developments do here in court, as of course we saw a development in terms of the legal representatives of Thabo Bester, his new lawyer Jan Lopsa, telling the court that he's the new attorney on record, but he'll also not be coming alone. Going forward, he'll also be joined by Advocate Zandile Mshololo. We know that she is the defense attorney in the high-profile Senzo Meyiwa murder case, representing Fisaguhle Nduli, who is accused number 5 in that particular matter. There's been speculation on the ground that she could possibly join this legal team, and today we're hearing it confirmed on record that Advocate Zandile Mshololo will be joining the team. But quite interestingly, that when he was asked about his legal representatives, because you remember he had a different legal representative during the last court appearance, who also came and said there was a bit of confusion, given that he knew that he was the legal representative of Thabo Bester, and he had not received any instructions about what was now being put on record, or did not receive a notice of termination. So there was that misunderstanding and that confusion. But Thabo Bester asked him to rise and explain in court what will happen, and what he was telling the court was that he wants, all the legal representatives that have been mentioned in court. I'm talking now about Jan Lopsa, Advocate Zandile Mshololo, mentioning the name of Advocate Dalim Bofu to be joining his legal team, and also Kabelo Matia, who's also been representing him throughout, saying that he wants them to form a team that will represent him when the matter goes to trial. But Kabelo Matia responding to that, saying that he does not know whether that is possible in law, but is indebted to the court and will take the instruction from the court on a way forward. There was also the issue of Dr Nandipha Magudumana. You'd recall she now still is in the court holding cells after collapsing this morning. You'd recall we've been running the story around her having been taken in what the legal team has described as a degrading manner out of the Kroonstad prison where she is kept, and what we were told this morning to do was that she was thrown with a blanket to wrap herself around and taken and thrown at the back of a police van. This despite the fact that it was well known, according to her legal representatives, that she was unwell and would not be appearing physically in court. And arrangements had been made that she would be appearing virtually, but it appears as though she is still in the court. The last time that we spoke to her lawyer, he told us that she was on the floor, completely unable, of course, to come up to the court to, of course, make that appearance as required. But he was quite disappointed with the manner in which, he says, the police have handled her transportation to court. Let's take a listen.
She's still not well. She's actually literally on the floor.
Is she dressed? Because the reports that we got was that she was given a blanket to wrap herself and then come to court.
Look, she's on the floor. You know, I don't even want to divulge any information that will further humiliate her. As it is now, she's been treated with the worst form of inhumane condition.
So the latest with regards to Dr. Nandipha Magudumana Dudu is that for the first time, we're hearing this for the very first time, the magistrates together with the legal representatives will be going down. In fact, they're going down to the holding cells in court where her indictment will be handed over. The senior prosecutor telling the court that her fingerprints have not been taken as a result, of course, of the situation that is currently at play. So her transfer will happen in the court's holding cell. So those are the major developments coming out of the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court this afternoon in relation, of course, to Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, but also Thabo Bester, who's now made this big announcement that Advocate Zandile Mshololo, together with Advocate Dalimpofu, will be part of his legal team that will be representing him during trial in this matter. We're expecting that there will be a consensus on a date in which the pre-trial proceedings can be held. You'll remember that after this point, the matter will be transferred to the High Court, and in between those periods before the trial and now, the pre-trial conference will take place. This is where all the admissions will be made, the processes around discovery, the handing over of the evidence to the defense in order for them to be able to prepare adequately their defense when trial starts. So at this point, we're sitting now with 9 accused persons, 6 of which are out on bail. Dudu?
Linda Mnisi, just on the assertion that Thabo Bester will now be represented by Advocate Mshololo as well as Advocate Dalimpofu, is there any confirmation, were there any papers that were handed to the courts actually indeed confirming this?
Well, this was placed on record, number one, by Jan Lopsa, who's representing Thabo Bester in this matter. And when he was asked to confirm it, to confirm and explain the situation around who will be representing him, he told the court that he'd like, obviously, Advocate Dalimpofu to also, or he will also be using Dalimpofu's services. They will, at a later stage, be coming to court to confirm their appearances on behalf of Thabo Bester. That is usually done in court on record. So the said legal representatives would have to come to court at an appropriate time, of course, to confirm on record that they will be appearing on behalf of Thabo Bester. But that, we understand, will only be happening when the matter is now in the High Court, where, of course, the trial will take place. Also quite interesting to note that, of course, the indictment has now been served to the accused persons who were, of course, in the dock, and has now, of course, also become a part of public documents. We understand at this point that the state has earmarked around 129 witnesses, which it will be using when the trial starts.
Okay. Linda Mnisi, thank you very much for that report.